Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. In this one we're starting with some really basic stuff, which is bike safety check. And this is something you really should do before you go out for a ride anytime you're going out. Good idea to check it when you get home after a ride so you can fix anything that's got problems, but you certainly want to try it before you go out onto the trail. So the way we do it to make it a bit easier so you don't forget things is we're going to start at the front, work through to the back. And basically we're just going to look at the basic things that can cause you problems. So obviously we're starting out at the front, so we've got the front tyre, making sure there's air in the front tyre. Give it a bit of a press. Wheel spins round, pick it up, no brake rub, and it spins around quite nicely. Okay. If you've got a quick release, you need to make sure the quick release is done up, and your quick release is more of an arm movement than a finger movement. If it's just your fingers, it's probably not tight enough. If you've got an Allen key, it's worth checking them occasionally anyway, just to make sure they are tight. Okay, the other thing we're going to check at the front, obviously, is our brakes. So front brake works if you try and roll it forward. Next thing we're going to look at is the headset. Now for the headset, what we're going to do is grab hold at the top of the forks here, turn the fork sideways, turn the handlebars sideways, put the front brake on and wiggle the bike backwards and forwards. If you're feeling any clunking, you'll feel movement in the forks where they come into the bottom of the frame. If you're feeling any movement, then you need to tighten up your headset. Okay? Now, working through the bike, obviously you can check things like your seat goes up and down if you've got a dropper post. Not super critical from a safety perspective. Thing that's worth checking, spin your pedals around backwards with your cranks. What that'll do is basically check that your gears are somewhat in alignment. If it's all chattering and jumping, then you're probably going to find that it's going to start shifting gear on you when you're riding. Working through to the back, same stuff as the front. Air in the tyre, wheel spins round, quick releases are done up, and your back brakes work. Now that's a really quick check that you can do before you go for a run, just to make sure everything's working. Now the other things that you might want to add that I normally check when I get home after a ride, just to make sure it's ready for the next one, is you can check your spoke tension. So you can just grab pairs of spokes, give them a bit of a wiggle. All we're really looking for is that they're all about the same tension. Okay? You can, if you find you've got a loose spoke, you can just tighten it up a little bit. You don't have to be a great wheel trimmer to be able to do that. But if you can, if you just make it the same as the others, then it'll get you out of trouble. The other thing it's worth doing is putting an Allen key on all your bolts every now and then. Just making sure that there's nothing rattling loose. Quite often you'll see people turn up on the trail and they'll have a pivot bolt missing or something quite significant that could be a problem for them. So just go through, make sure things are all genuinely a little bit tight. Another thing some people like to do is do a bit of a drop test. If you're dropping your bike, there shouldn't be any major rattles or clunks. Anything like that is something you probably want to look into. So really quick check, guys, simple to do, easy to do every time you go for a ride, and definitely worth the effort. Gets you out on the ride and gets you back in one piece. So thanks heaps for watching, guys, and we'll see you out on the trails.